Hi, my name's Jeff Anderson. We all know how horrible the economy's been the past few years and the terrible effects it's had on so many people's lives. I've been very fortunate because my business is on the internet and it's booming. I'd like to invite you to take a ride today. I'd like to show you a beautiful town of Eugene, Oregon. I'd like to talk about answers, solutions, not problems. I want to talk about what we can do about it and how you can do this too. So come on, let's take a ride. Yeah, folks, Oregon is filled with natural beauty and amazing sights, and it's going to be my privilege to share some of them with you today. Of course, the road we're going to take and what we're going to see is completely different than the path our trailblazer forefathers took when they first came this way. And I make that point for a reason. What we want to talk about today is success in achieving financial freedom. And the way to do that is no different than any other journey. It's to follow the guidance of those who have gone before and know exactly how to get where you would like to go. We had Jedediah Smith and the Applegates, which were a great example of trailblazers here in Oregon, favorite son pioneers who showed the passes and laid out the navigation that everybody followed to migrate west and particularly to Oregon. And success is no different. To get the success that you want, the smartest move is to follow the route that's already clearly marked by somebody who's gone before you and is willing to share that path with you and help you get exactly where you want to go. So, first of all, let's think about what you want and how we can get there. What do you want for your life? Would you like to have more time to spend with your family? Of course, we all want financial security. Maybe you want to travel the world. You decide what you want, and I'll show you the trail that's already been blazed for you to get there. I believe you have the ability and can be more successful than you have ever dared to imagine, especially with the proper guidance. So let's look at what to do, and I'll warn you, we're going to work hard, but we're going to have some fun too. There is no reason we can't enjoy ourselves and make all the money we want also. So let's begin with a look at some everyday businesses and compare that to how we can do infinitely better. We have got ourselves a perfect summer day. Here we are in downtown Eugene, getting ready to cruise the Saturday market. See what the local business folks are doing today. You know everybody's going to be out on a day like today. This market's a lot of fun. The Saturday market's a local tradition here since 1970 and a great place to get super high quality local produce and products. Everything here being made or grown by the merchants. These are all great businesses, and I personally have a lot of admiration for these people. However, the reason we're here is to see how much time, labor, and money each of these people has invested just to produce their goods and be ready to sell them, to market them. It's very expensive and a lot of work to start even one of these small street businesses, let alone a permanent storefront with rent, insurance, employees, and the whole 9 yards. But all businesses, when all that work is done, marketing becomes the heartbeat of their survival. Everybody markets. You do, or the people you work for do. And here's some good news. Today, we have the opportunity to open a business that provides what everybody wants and allows us to have the entire world as our market, and for a minute fraction of what it costs to start the smallest of these street businesses. Think about it. The reason we're talking about starting our own businesses in the first place is because working at a job, even if you can get one that pays enough, is never going to allow you the personal financial freedom that you want. And working at a job is excellent, a noble enterprise, but there's not one person on earth who's achieved financial freedom with their job alone. Everybody who has money and financial security has a business. Even if they were born rich, they still own their own business. So we need to have our own business and know how to control our market to control our lives. And here's why. Folks, it's insane to wait until the economy miraculously recovers for you to have financial security. Unfortunately, that is not what's going to happen. Even before all this economic turmoil began, did you ever notice what the real figures of our personal success rates were? How many people actually have financial security? Let's take a look at how the system worked before the current crisis. It's shocking how only 2% of all people ever achieved financial freedom. This is how it worked before adding today's problem. This is the system we were all taught in school. Spend 18 to 28 years of your life and $40,000 to $500,000 for an education to spend the next 40 years to reach financial freedom, while working 40 to 50 hours per week for 40 years to find out it takes 40 years to see if even the system will work for you and create the goal of financial freedom. But the problem is, after 40 years, 98% of the population fail to achieve the goal of financial security, meaning the system success rate is 2%, and you won't know if you're one of the 2 out of 100 until after you spent 40 years. These are bad numbers, folks, and they're not mine. They're the government's. This is the Social Security Department statistics that 98 people out of 100 will need the assistance of the government or their families by the time they reach age 65. Now that's the problem, and I promised we talk about answers, the solution. You came here to find a way out, and here it is. Master the most lucrative skill on the planet as part of your new business. Combine the right skill with the right business and make the internet your financial slave and set yourself free. Join the masters. That's how you'll become a master. Connect with the right people in the right business. And now let's take a look at another example. And no tour of Eugene could be complete without a stop at Autzen Stadium, the epicenter of the University of Oregon sports program and the home of the mighty Oregon Ducks. It's also where Phil Knight ran track in the late 1950s and who, with his coach Bill Bowerman, went on to found Nike Apparel. Of course, we're all aware of the stature of Nike in the sports world and their well-known products, and I've chosen this story very deliberately to make the point that Nike's massive success has absolutely nothing to do with what they make. And sure, they make fine products, but that's not why they're successful. Their success has always been completely based in the skill to market their famous swoosh. That's how Phil Knight and every other successful entrepreneur on earth gained financial freedom. And what's that got to do with us? Everything to do with being the answer to tapping into the biggest source of income on the planet. And we don't have to be a giant company to be wealthy. Personally, very happy with my share. Marketing's the very heartbeat of any and every business. The internet has become the undisputed king of the marketing world, and that makes it the most powerful business on earth, period. While the rest of the economy is shrinking, the internet's business is booming. And again, what's that have to do with us? How about freedom? Learn to make the internet your slave, and you can set yourself free. It's the most valuable skill you can possess in today's business world. Be your own boss and take control of your own financial security. That's what I do. We're the world's leading experts to guide others through the skills to set you free. We have a business that can be used to make your living and become wealthy while we teach you to become your own internet master. And yes, I actually started with ridiculously meager computer skills. Eugene's a classic "a river runs through it" town, which makes an ideal metaphor for what we're talking about today. How to create currency and get in the flow. Folks, it's been great talking with you today, and I hope you've enjoyed the tour. What I'd like to do is help you open a door and welcome you home to a whole new world of possibilities. I believe the success that I've found can work for you too, and I'd be happy to share it. So go ahead and put your contact information in the form on this page. Include your name and email, and if you put in a telephone number, I'll be sure and call you personally. Let's get you started on your road to success. Let's get you started towards a whole new life. Welcome home.